Well, hey guys, I am so excited about this episode because I have Dr. John Delony here with me. Hey, John.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming on. So one of the big parts of my new book is talking all about fear.
Yes.
So I started researching it because I realized this is a huge motivator for people in life in general.
Mm-hmm.
And on your show, the Dr. John Delony Show, you talk about fear a lot. So I've had a couple of experts on the show talking about fear because it's so fascinating to me because there's like what I feel like the average person like me just thinks about fear, but then there's the psychological aspect. There's so much to unpack around fear. So let's just talk about it. Fear in general, good, bad, indifferent. How do you feel about it, John?
I feel that fear is really important. It lets us know that we care about something. It lets us know that we might be in danger of something. Fear is a critical feeling, right? Without it, we wouldn't get stuff done. We wouldn't know to run if there's a bear at our front door, right? It's so important for us.
Okay. So Dr. Chip Dodd was talking about it, and I loved it because he was explaining, like, it's a gift. Like, it literally is your body's response that you need help, that you are in need of something.
Yes.
And it just says, hey. Okay, now where it starts to get unhealthy, though, is when we get into anxiety, kind of on that end of the spectrum, right? So talk about the difference between fear and anxiety.
So anxiety is an alarm system. It just lets us know not safe, right? So I would consider fear something that is right in front of me.
Presence,
that bear is right there. I got to go, right?
Yep.
Anxiety is that door's shut. There might be a bear. And then I go look out the window and I can't see it. The bear might be hiding, right? And so I'm always fear of the future, right? I'm always looking to the future and feeling this alarm system going off. And anxiety sets off when we realize that we're disconnected, when we're alone. We're lonely.
Interesting, yeah.
And so it may need two of us to looking for this bear, or a third or a fourth. And so when you find yourself alone, those alarms spin off.
Okay, so these money fears that I write about in the book, I think for a lot of people could seep into anxiety to that side of it for sure. So the first fear, I talk about 6, we'll talk about 3 here on this episode for time's sake. Okay, but one fear that I see a lot of people have is that time is running out, that we're not able to do what we want to do with money because of our age. Like I was just on the Dave Ramsey show earlier today, and a lady called in at 60, and she was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna retire. Like I'm just now getting out of debt. I gotta build up baby step number 3 and like all of this. And I could feel that fear in her that time is getting away. So do you see that a lot? Just not with money specifically, but just in your line of work with anyone that like, you're getting to this place where like, oh wow, time's just running out.
Yeah, time is usually centered on a picture I had from my life at whatever age, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought by 45, I would be fill in the blank. And usually where it gets really damaging is they either don't have a picture or they have a fantasy that's about feelings. I thought I was gonna feel this way when I was 45. I thought I was gonna feel this way when I was 60. And if you talk to 60s with millions of dollars or with no money, they often have very similar fears. They often are uncertain about things as well. Their marriages are still challenging. Their kids are still doing things that are wonky. And so a lot of it's just a fantasy, right? But the reality is there are 60-year-olds that finally do their budget for the first time and they go, oh no, right?
Yeah.
I may never be able to retire. And then it's what you do with that fear that makes all the difference.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that's a good point because I think what's hard sometimes, especially in America's culture, is you do have this dream out there, but it's not realistic.
Right.
And to say, yeah, that may have been a dream, but some dreams, it really financially or time or location or season of life, like whatever it is, really isn't going to happen. And not that you can't have any other dreams or a part of that dream.
Right.
Maybe you take a piece of it or a different spin on it. But there's a level of reality we have to live in.
That's right. And I always want to challenge people where they got that dream and what they think that dream was going to give them.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the reality is if my dream is to just go to the beach, you can get food poisoning at the beach too. And it's hot there and it's gritty. And we don't think about those things. We just got to get to the beach and get to the beach or get this other house or get this relationship. And the reality is when you get there, you show up too, right? And so if you're anxious and worried and stressed, you're going to take that with $1 million. You're going to take that with a dream retirement. You're going to take that to wherever you end up. And so the key is to work on yourself, right? To recognize your fears and then deal with them in reality, right? Wherever you end up, like in that same 3-bedroom, 2-bath house or with your 3rd lake house, right? You're going to go with you there.
Okay, I've said this story so many times, but you literally hit the nail on the head. So Winston and I, one of our dreams, long-term dreams, was to build a home. And so we completed it last year. And I remember during the build process, we'd go visit it like every weekend, right? Because you're just so excited. You're like, oh, they're doing this and this and this. It's so fun. But I got to a point and it hit me. I was like, we got home and I told Winston, I was like, okay, I have made this house in my head like the finish line. Like once we get in this house, it's all going to be good.
Right.
It's all going to be good. And I was talking to him about it, and he was like, no, Rachel, in this house, like spaghetti is still going to be on the floor from Caroline's high chair. Like in this house, we're still going to have this issue if we don't work through it in the present. Like it is. You are still the same person, that is moving, unless you're changing and you're evolving and you're all of it. But I think the point is, don't think that thing is going to fix it, that dream's going to fix you.
The worst part about getting a new job is that you go with you.
Yes.
Or getting a new spouse or a new home is that you go with you, right?
Okay, yes. And then for the self-awareness piece, if you have that friend in life, like the new job, and the same problem happens at 4 different jobs, and they're telling you,
it's
and you're
probably you.
There's one correlation of it.
That's exactly
for sure.
right.
Okay, so the fear of not realizing your dreams. Number one, dreaming is great. And I talk about it in my new book too. Like you need to dream. Have where, money and boundaries, everything's down. And you're just like, what could life look like? Like that's fun, right? Let your mind go there. But as you start realistically implementing those dreams, making sure they are realistic and knowing that there may be a time where, this season of life, you're not going to be able to do that dream, but find a different dream or say, no, time isn't out. I feel like it is, but if we map it out X, Y, and Z and do these steps, we actually could get there, but maybe it's in 10 years instead of 2. And then I think to your point that you are still the same person.
So ask yourself, dig into those dreams. Why is that destination where I've set my whole life's goals, right?
Yes. Oh, it's so good. Okay. Another fear is that I'm not capable of managing my money well. So I hear this a lot. Rachel, I'm really bad at math, or I'm not smart enough, or I didn't get that degree, or all of you that are in the financial space, of course you're winning with money because it's what you do every day. But the truth of what we teach here at Ramsey Solutions is that like the basic money principles, personal finance, like it's really not that complicated. It's hard to do, but understanding it, it's pretty simple. But do you find that negative talk in with a lot of people?
So I went back to grad school as an old person, right? And so I had to do internships.
What age were you?
I was in my late 30s.
Okay,
right?
good.
And I had to do internships again. And one of my internships was counseling. I had to start meeting with real clients. And I found really quickly that they would talk about their marriages, their intimate lives. They would talk about their kids. They would not talk about their money. And fascinating, I had a second child. I had to update my will. And as a part of updating my will, we went through, creating a trust and where's your money gonna go? And we need all your accounts. I didn't want to give them that information because we have this idea around what are you worth? What's that number, right? And so why am I saying that? That fear drives this idea of I don't want to even know. I don't want, that's for other people, that's for smart people. And so hear me say this, Rachel, we are in a sliver of history when we have any answer to any question ever asked on our telephone. Being ignorant about a subject is a choice. Not knowing about 7 baby steps is a decision. It's not a lack of resources, it's not a lack of knowing. There's so many financial coaches and counselors and pastors and friends. If you want to know, you can find out. And so saying, I just don't know, that's a choice. And I hate to say that because it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Not my own fears about money make me nuts, but it's a choice.
Yeah, to live in that ignorance. But that ignorance is peaceful for a lot of people, right? Like it was kind of that for a little bit because it's like, I don't even want to look. I don't want to look at the bank account. I'm going to just live over here. And do you find that people detach so much, like that they can detach to that extreme where emotionally they're almost numb to their money?
One of my favorite books, the title says it all, The Body Keeps the Score.
Oh my gosh, my mother-in-law loves that book.
Yeah, it's a wonderful book. By Bessel van der Kolk, read that book.
She told me about this book.
But the title says it all. In your frontal lobe, you can make all sorts of detachment decisions. I'm just gonna put those bills in the drawer. I'm just gonna not look at that retirement account. But the fear part of your brain that sits in the back, that's running all the time, is constantly keeping a tally of what you do and don't know. The fears and the distance you're getting away from real information. Am I gonna have enough? I don't know. Am I gonna be able to eat when I'm old? Can I live there? Can I live there? That stuff just adds up and it affects your body. It affects the pain in your body. It affects your ability to have connected relationships. It affects everything.
Everything.
Right? We think we're hiding and detached. We're not.
As a mom, every day I take precautions to give my family peace of mind. It's simple things like locking the front door, making sure the car seats are buckled in, and putting my phone away when I'm driving. But we don't always think about the bigger things. Like what if something happened to you or your spouse? That's why you need term life insurance. It makes sure your family's taken care of no matter what happens. I trust Zander Insurance. They keep my family protected, and that gives me such peace of mind. They make things super simple and find the best options and prices. To learn more, call Zander today or go to Zander.com. Make sure your family has the term life insurance they need. Okay, so someone with this fear to say, I'm just not smart enough, and either they really believe that or you've convinced them otherwise. No, you can actually become smart enough. You can read, the information's out there. But now they have to make that emotional step to actually look. What would you, how does someone do that? Because to me, I'm like, just look. Just log in. Just log into the account and look.
So this is me being vulnerable here.
Yeah.
And I want to preface this with, I've worked with SWAT teams. I've worked with crisis calls in the middle of the night, seeing the most gruesome, horrible things you can ever see. But when it came to looking at my money, I had to get somebody that I trust to literally sit with me and look through this. And I'll never forget the moment I painfully, vulnerably asked, am I on a good track? Are we going to have enough? And he looked at me and said, if you keep going, you're going to be all right. And I went, whew, right? So this is crisis guy. I think I'm all tough. I've got all the degrees. I had to have somebody sit with me. I had to have a coach. Just so happens that my old college roommate is an investing guy. That's what he does. And so he sat with me and walked through the lines and the numbers. But the reality is the fear is real. So you either have to just open the account and look, or you got to get somebody and walk alongside you.
To do it. It's so
That's right.
good. The last fear we're going to talk about today is that my past money mistakes are going to dictate my future. Like I can't win with money because of the mistakes I've made in my past. And again, I'm usually more on like the number side of this. This book and all this research has made me dig into like more the emotional side, which I love.
Yes.
So I love all the work that you do. But it's so hard because I look at someone and I really do believe, because I've heard countless stories of people getting out of debt and actually getting control of their money that have insane amounts of debt, that have not a lot of income, but they do it, right? They do it. But still, there is a truth that, your past mistakes will affect how fast you get out of debt.
That's right.
It's a bigger hole, smaller hole. So there is some math involved that can seem overwhelming. So if you have made extremely, tough, wrong, hard, whatever you want to put in there, money mistakes in the past, your hole might be deeper, but that still doesn't mean you can't get out.
Right.
There's always hope. And I can say that because sitting in my seat for 10 years, I've seen it. Like I've seen these insane stories where like, how did they do it? These single moms or these, this couple that makes $50,000, they had $200,000 in debt and they did it, in like 3.5 years. You're like, how did you do that? It's just crazy. So do you find that people's past keeps them from moving forward?
Yes, I think it's when people's mistakes turn into part of their identity. Not, I made some mistakes, but I am a mistake, right? Not that I screwed up with money, but I am a screw up. And that's harder to overcome than the math problem, right? Finding money, working 3 jobs, grinding it out, that's just a matter of doing it over and over. Overcoming who am I, that's a whole other story, right? So when somebody looks in the past and says, I've done some dumb things with money, it's literally a resurrection moment. It's a moment when you say, I'm done with that, right? And I'm going to surround myself with people and a plan. I'm going to move forward. I had to tell myself on a regular basis, you're not who you were. You're going this way now, right?
That's right.
And I'm going to make a new decision every day, right?
That's so good. And I think that identity piece, and you kind of said that even in the other fear we're talking about, is so true though, right? It's like that number is like your score in life, which it shouldn't be, right? Your net worth should not equal your self-worth, but it does so much in our culture today. Do you find men versus women are different with that?
Yeah, I think men are trained from when we're really little that our worth is based on achievement. Yeah. And the greatest achievement we can achieve in our society is money, right? Is that net worth. It's going back and letting people know the answer to the question, what are you worth, is never a number. It's always who have you loved and who has loved you. That's what your true worth is.
That's right? That's fascinating between men and women because I hear that a lot. I do. I feel like, and even some guys, they're so vocationally driven, even in conversation, right? It's like kind of their go-to and all of that. So it's fascinating.
And busyness in work is a socially acceptable addiction. We're allowed to be super busy and to keep being busy and busy and busy and busy and to skip dinners and to skip like couple time after the kids are in bed, to skip weekend events and family trips because we're just working, right? Or we're busy. It's a numbing behavior. It's an addiction, right? And so all that comes back to fear.
Man, that could be a whole other video because Winston we're at the beach a few weeks ago. He was reading this book, parenting book, and it labeled out 6 things to do. Like literally, like if you want successful, healthy kids, here's 6 things you do. One of them family dinner. Everything else though involved time. It's all time. It's all time-based. And that's saying that like, oh, well, it's not the quantity of time, it's the quality you spend. He was like, no, like you have to have the quantity in order to get the quality.
Right.
And that is such a big part of parenting.
Well, think about
which I digress,
the,
but like
the
that's
most
fascinating.
precious resource I have on planet Earth is my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because once it's gone, it's gone.
Yes.
And anything I'm expending time into is time not expended on those relationships, right?
Yeah, exactly. Not to put more on your plate, parents, but just a little parenting tidbit. But that TIME, it's big in relationships, all of it, and even spending time overcoming those fears and putting things in place so that you don't have these money fears because they can be overwhelming. And when they get to that point of anxiety, then it really does start to be unhealthy. And so putting it in its rightful place.
That's right.
But again, it can be that alarm that, hey, something's off. You may need help. You may need to do something different. John, thanks so much for diving into these 3 fears. And the other 3 we talk about in the Know Yourself, Know Your Money curriculum that's in Ramsey Plus.
So good.
Oh, we just shot one like a few weeks ago. So fun, y'all. So make sure to look into Ramsey Plus, and that Know Yourself, Know Your Money curriculum will be in there. And the other 3 fears as well will be in the new book, Know Yourself, Know Your Money, that comes out January 5th. So pre-order if you haven't yet. And where can everyone find you, John?
You can find me on the internet at John Delony, YouTube, and then the super creatively titled Dr. John Delony Show that we launched recently, and it's been a blast. We're having fun.
The Rachel Cruze Show, the Christy Wright Show.
We're super creative here.
We have lots of good thinkers. No. Well, and the podcast is going great too.
It's lost, all semblance of reality. Yeah,
it's so awesome.
It's getting some great reviews, so it's a lot of fun.
Love it, love it. Okay, make sure to check all that out, you guys, and thanks again, John.
Thank you.